Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to talk about Dracaena marginata problems that you could have in your home, and I am going to give you a solution. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so you don't miss any new video. In this video I will show you the most common problems with the plant, which are yellow leaves, brown leaf tips and wilted leaves, which are generic symptoms. Before I start explaining how you can use these symptoms as a guide for helping you, there is one thing you should have in mind. If the deterioration of the plant is sudden, I mean overnight, then you can assume that some sudden change in the physical environment of the plant has caused this sudden damage. It could be exposure to cold temperatures or extreme heat, like in a closed vehicle, exposure to a strong outdoor sunlight after being inside, foreign chemical substances added to the soil, including pet urine and swimming pool water, and exposure to unusually bad air pollution such as smoke from a fire, plant fumes, or manufacturing pollutants. If any of these apply, you must remove the plant immediately from the physical environment that is causing the problem. Trim off the damaged foliage and flush the soil with a clear water if the foreign substances is in it. Unless the roots were severely damaged, the plant should gradually recover after the cause has been eliminated. Now let's get back to our three major problems. In front of me you can see two healthy Dracaena marginata. You can see that the leaves don't have any brown tips, yellow leaves, and neither are leaves wilted. How I do it, there is a link in the description. You can check out how to care about this plant. But if something goes wrong, I'm going to help you fix that. Now, the first thing we are going to talk about are brown leaf tips. Brown leaf tips often come at the edge here, at the edge of any foliage. These are common symptoms. Possible cause include using hard water, too much fertilizer, improper soil pH, inadequate light, and either underwatering or overwatering. You can tell from this list that the cause of the brown leaf tips is not easy to sort out. First, understand that some plants, especially those with the long pointed leaves like Dracaena marginata, quite normally get some browning of the last half inch of their leaf tips. So don't worry about that. Now let's go through each possible cause. Excess minerals in the soil are a common cause of more extensive leaf tips burn or browning. Excess minerals come from a hard water and plant fertilizers. If your local tap water is on the hard side, then use distilled or filtered or rainwater for your plants. If you are fertilizing, then stop. Next is improper soil pH. refers to how acidic the potting soil is. This is not a problem for most potted plants when they are purchased. However, using hard water for your plants can gradually lower the soil pH and cause brown tips and other problems. In addition, if you use homemade soil mixes, including garden soil and compost, then there is a good chance that the soil may become too acidic. The use of coffee grounds in your potting soil is likely cause of making the soil too acidic. For the plant that is getting too much light, the first symptom is often brown leaf tips. Too much light will cause plant foliage to turn pale green or yellow, and in extreme causes brown and dry. Adding plant food will not restore the color to these branched out leaves. The solution is to protect the plant from the direct ray of the sun by moving the plant or by covering the windows with a sheer curtain. Foliage tissue damaged by excess light will not recover, so trim them off. Finally, either over or underwatering can cause leaf tips to turn brown in much the same way as improper watering cause wilting. Let me tell you some tips so you can solve your problem faster. If a brown leaf tips are dry, most common thing is due to the inadequate watering, to be precise, under watering. If brown leaf tips are a little bit moist, then there is usually too much water, and the roots are starting to get damaged. You need to stop watering Dracaena and let it dry as much as you can before watering it again. It's quite simple to solve that problem. If it's not too much water, then it could be excess of salt in a soil, and in that case you need to use distilled water and flush the soil so the excess salt can drain out. Okay, second most common thing is wilted leaves. Let's start by looking at wilted or droppy leaves as an example of a common plant. Simple. Wilted leaves means they are going down. Okay, they go down. You can see from this plant the leaves are going up. Wilting does mean that the plant is not getting enough water, so the solution is to water it more frequently. That might be true, but consider this: the plant that has been overwatered develops rotted roots that can no longer absorb water for the plant. So what happens? The overwatered plant wilts because there is no water available to the stems and leaves. So wilted leaves can mean either too little or too much water. If you guess wrong, then you will aggravate the problem further. So what is the solution? If the soil is moist, or if the water, if you water the plant and it does not perk up within a half a day, then you can correctly assume that the roots are not absorbing the water, and that is probably because the roots have rotted. There is rarely a solution for the root rot, although sometimes a plant will slowly recover once you adjust your watering to allow the soil to dry out properly between waterings. Replacing the soil is not a solution. If the soil is bone dry deep into the pot and the water you add seems to run right out the drainage hole, then the wilting is caused by excessive dryness. After the soil is saturated once again, then the plant should perk up within half a day, although some leaves may yellow and not recover. Note that soil that has gotten extremely dry does not absorb water readily, so it may be necessary to leave the pot standing in the water for several hours in order to re-wet it properly. And finally, the third common symptom is yellow leaves. Every plant will get some yellow leaves from time to time. Sometimes this is just a normal part of the plant's growth process, as it adds healthy new growth on the top. It quite naturally loses some older leaves at the bottom. However, a sudden increase in yellow leaves or an excessive amount of leaves yellowing can signal a problem that needs correcting. Unfortunately, just about any condition that stressed a plant will cause an increase in yellow leaves. If the plant has an abundance of yellow leaves, don't assume anything. If you do, there's a very good chance your assumption will be wrong. The best approach is to methodically go through the list of possible causes and try to narrow it down to one or two likely causes. The first one is it getting enough light? Did you recently repot? Are you watering properly? Is your tap water hard? Are you using too much fertilizer? Is the light too strong? Is the humidity too low? Let me tell you some tips so you can solve your problem faster. If the plant has a yellow leaf tips or edges, most common thing is too much chlorine in water. Use distilled water. If you find brown spot on the leaf with a yellow around, then it's fungus or bacteria issue. Try to use some organic substances. If the bottom leaves are become yellow, the plant is shedding lower leaves to allow new growth. So I hope you enjoy video. Please let me know what videos you want to see in the future. If you have any question, please write down in comment section. Also, you can hit like button if you like this video and subscribe to the channel, which just really helps it grow. See you in next video.